You know, sometimes when you're used to an outcome, you forget to appreciate it while it's happening. Take the picks, for example. I've now beaten Alex for what feels like the infinite number of weeks, and it feels like it's to infinity and beyond. And I am given a sober thought on the Eagles losing streak, which is I got so used to the Eagles winning that I just assumed, much like beating Alex, that it was just always going to happen because it just seemed to happen week over week over week over week over week. And you never appreciate something as much as you should in the moment while it's happening. I don't think I got enough points in while when the Eagles won their Super Bowl. I could have made fun of Alex, or I could have made it a greater point about Alex being 0 for 4 or 0 for the infinity on the Eagles during last playoffs. And I have a feeling that the same thing is going to happen during the picks. That I'm just going to get so used to it that losing is just going to feel shocking to me and just depressing to me, much like this losing streak for the Eagles has felt. But we continue. And the Eagles, while it looks like they are down, still have another week. The Bengals, my precious Bengals, lost this week to the Bills, even though they looked very, very good for great stretch of that game, are still technically somehow not out. So sometimes you have to learn to appreciate something while it's there, while also always looking towards the future as we do as humans. And with that knowledge at hand, I'm going to welcome Alex to the show, who probably is still drunk from the Eagles losing to the Chargers.
What is good, everyone? Another week, another just proof that I was right all along. And it's funny that there's stages in all of the when you like a player or when you don't like a player, there's stages in how things go. Like when you don't like a player, and he's on the down low, it's quite easy to just dunk on him. Everyone comes out of the woodworks to dunk on a guy. When he's getting praised, when he wins the Super Bowl, the stacked roster of the Avengers, it's harder because you really don't have much to pick at. You can make the arguments, you can do all of those things, but it's always hard because at the end of the day, he has the achievement, he has the Super Bowl. But with the Super Bowl also comes the expectation that you're a Super Bowl winning QB. You should be great. And I think it gets even easier to dunk on the guy right now because everything I've said all along about him has been proven correctly. He is a QB that, unless everything is right around him, so he needs to have super easy. Like for the dude to win, you need to give him a few things. You need to give him 3 All-Pro offensive linemen, at least. You need to give him 2 top 20 wide receivers in the league. You need to give him the Offensive Player of the Year, running the football. And then on defense, I mean, you don't need much. Like, you have to do 11 top 60 picks in the NFL, and you're good. And that way, Jalen Hurts will always win. But I think when you say this, the same thing could be applied to a few players. And there's one in specific that in discussions today about Jalen Hurts that I realized it's quite identical. There's a player that was on a very bad team. He was on a very bad team. And everyone sort of wrote him off. Like, dude is no good. He runs the football, but the throwing is all over the place. He had a funny nickname even. No one really gave much about him. He got a massive deal off of his previous team and then got cut. And everyone like, yeah, this dude is no good. And then he goes to a team who, again, as right now a contender for Offensive Player of the Year, has a very solid offensive line. Good weapons, not as good as Jalen Hurts, but good weapons as well, receiving the football. One of them is maybe even a breakout star rookie. And then on defense, like defense is solid. Few interesting pieces on the front seven, few interesting pieces on the back line. Nothing crazy, not as good as the Eagles, but it's good. And all of a sudden, this guy is getting like most improved player sort of buzz about him. Like
Really went
everyone
down.
is liking what they're doing. Everyone is like, and then it gets me thinking that in reality, Jalen Hurts is a lot similar to Daniel Jones than we want to admit, right?
No.
Yes. I mean, it is dead on. Like a player that has a lot of weaknesses, but when put on a system with a good head coach, good coordinators, a good defense, a very good offense, a very good offense with very good pieces on both the offensive line and the peripheral weapons, all of a sudden he's winning games. He's winning a ton of games. He's leading the division by I don't know how many wins. Everything is going smoothly. It's insane how this happens, and this got me thinking. I walk back on the career of Jalen Hurts, and it's
Mhm.
always a bit similar. The case is always the same. So he goes to the Super Bowl versus Casey, the first one, and he loses it. And you look at the team, and it's okay, it's Jalen Hurts, but then the defense, it's maybe the best unit in the league. Okay, then you look on offense. The dude has 3 All-Pros. He has 2 wide receivers that are great. He has DeAndre Swift in the year in which he looked very good for the Eagles. Everything was clicking. But again, everything was perfect. The coordinators were perfect. Both of them got head coaching jobs the following year. Everything was perfect. 2023 comes. Okay. Same team. The defense changes a bit. The offense doesn't change much at all. The OCs aren't as good. Both coordinators aren't as good, actually. The defense takes a step back, gets eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. Nothing that they can do. Nothing that they can do about that adversity. Okay, we walk into 2024. The defense now is great again. DC is great, maybe the best in the league. OC is great. The offense is rolling. He gets Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year. Offensive line is never hurt. Everything looks perfect. Top 60 picks from I don't know, the defensive end to the cornerback. All 11 guys are amazing. He wins the Super Bowl. Easy enough. We should give him all the credit in the world. Of course we should. I mean, the guy has the Avengers playing with him. But we need to give him all the credit in the world because he won games. I don't know. And then this year, OC is not as good. Everyone on offense is solid. Everyone is back except Lane Johnson, who has been out for most of the year. And on defense, everything, like the defense is still a great unit, still one of the best OCs. So this year, the adversity is really he's missing Lane Johnson, and he is missing a competent offensive coordinator. And what happens? He flounders. 3-game losing streak. He looks absolutely awful in all of the games that he's been playing, even the ones in which he wins. The offense is completely discombobulated. Devo wide receiver coming out talking about the team. Saquon can't do anything. It's all hell broke loose. So this just leaves me wondering, have we ever seen a QB that is just so inept at trying to fix any sort of adversity that he faces as Jalen Hurts? Because you look at QBs in the league that should rise to the same echelon, because this is a Super Bowl winning QB, as I'm told. So guys in the same echelon. We look at Patrick
Oh
Mahomes.
no.
Patrick Mahomes wishes that he had an AJ Brown. He wishes that he had a Devonta Smith. He wishes that he
He
had
had
a
Travis
Saquon
Kelce.
Barkley. Yeah, he has Travis Kelce again. You know, I look back on the year in which they beat the San Francisco 49ers. You know what their running back was? Damian Williams. You know their wide receiver were Kendrick Bourne, Mecole Hardman, and I think there was another the other San Francisco 49ers wide receiver, something James. It's not Reese James, it's
Jaquan James.
no, it's James, wide receiver, San Francisco. Richie James. Richie James.
Richie James.
So that's the wide receivers that he goes to into the Super Bowl. Can you imagine how worse all of this would even be if this was the type of wide receivers that Jalen Hurts was throwing the football to. The Richie James and the Michael Hartmans of the world. No, he still has the benefit of playing with 2 top 20 wide receivers in the league. Like, you look at Josh Allen. The defense has been on and off most of the seasons in which he has competed. He's always going deep into the playoffs. He's throwing to fucking Gabe Davis, for crying out loud. Like, all of the years that he's throwing the football. No excuses. He still produces. Hey, he falls short sometimes. It happens. But he wins playoff games consistently. And he's not... The variance isn't as high with him. Like your guy, Joe Burrow. Okay, he has Jamar Chase, he has T. Higgins. T. Higgins misses games. Hey, he still operates the same way. Like, last 2 years, I believe T. Higgins has missed six of the games that Joe Burrow has played healthy. All of the games, Joe Burrow plays nicely. Everything is okay. Defense looks like trash. Joe Burrow still manages to win some of the games. Joe Burrow goes to a Super Bowl with a defense that wasn't as good as like the Philadelphia Eagles defense is. You look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar wishes he had one of those weapons on offense. He's throwing the football to Zay Flowers is a very solid wide receiver. He's nowhere near the top 20. He's throwing to Zay Flowers. He's throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. He's throwing to Devin Duvernay. He's throwing to Mark Andrews. He annulled Mark Andrews. Can we imagine, like, if Jalen Hurts had this wide receiver core, had these receivers? Are you crazy?
You're such a fucking hater, dude. Like,
look, I'm just looking at the situations around the league, and I'm thinking to myself, is there a team that if I insert Jalen Hurts in, I know for sure the team will be much, much better? And I don't know what to say about that, dude.
yes. Oh my God, yes.
But where's the proof? Where have we seen this guy succeed to any sort of level?
You can only play with the things that you have in front of you. Sound like someone.
Okay, perfect. No, it's perfect what you're saying. You can only play with what you have. And when he has anything worse than absolute perfection in every single place, he has never done anything. He has never won a playoff game in which the scenario wasn't absolutely perfect. He has never, like, even his stats aren't anything crazy. And the thing is, you're sitting here, and this guy Jalen Hurts is what right now? He is 27 years old. We're seeing a Jalen Hurts that isn't running as more. Like, there's guys in the league. Mahomes has run for more yards than him. Josh Allen has run for more yards than him. Oh, there's at least 5 or 6 guys that have run for more yards than Jalen Hurts so far. And we're seeing a Jalen Hurts that isn't as willing to run. And it's showing massively on his football pass. Like, the offense isn't anything to write home about. Everything is god awful at this point. He can't really pass the football. When you take away the threat, and like, this 27-year-old Jalen Hurts, what's going to happen when his athleticism just saps away? When he's 28, when he's 29, when he's 31, 32? This guy, after 3 years, I don't know what this guy is going to do in the league. Because he can't rely on his passing ability alone. That is not good enough right now in the NFL. But I'm sitting here and I'm constantly being told that I'm a hater, that I'm arguing in bad faith. So please argue why Jalen Hurts is anything more than Daniel Jones.
This guy.
Let's put it the other way. How many QBs in the league right now would we put on the Eagles, and the Eagles would be winning more games?
More games?
Yeah, and the offense would look better.
It's a lot less than you would think.
How many? So I think we can agree that Mahomes, Josh Allen, both would be okay, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, Joe Burrow?
Yes.
Okay. Justin Herbert?
I
think it's fair to argue that Justin Herbert has had a better season. I think it's better. It's fair to argue that, again, Justin Herbert playing without 2 tackles, that's the thing. Before that, he was playing with better than Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts had Lane Johnson when that comparison was happening. So I think it's fair to say that this season, him on the Eagles would look better than what we're seeing from the Eagles. But I don't think it's a massive reach, what I'm saying here.
Justin Herbs. Hold on. I want to just check out a few things. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, not the game log. Well, I guess I could go to the game logs. But so Jalen
continuing
Hurts
my
and
list.
Justin Herbert have similar yards per attempt. They have very similar touchdown percentages. Justin Herbert completes the touchdowns in 5.2% of his dropbacks. Jalen Hurts is 5.0. I guess if you want to argue the difference in that, sure. Justin Herbert has way more interceptions than
How
Justin
many
Herbert.
passes, though?
How many passes attempts?
Yes.
It is 20-40. The difference is 40 attempts.
Well, it is basically an NFL game. A
Sure.
high-throwing NFL game.
Sure, but do you call the
Jalen Hurts?
Do you call the difference between 6 and 11 one game though? As far as interceptions, I don't.
No, I don't. There's
Okay.
there's other things that I could say, but I think the argument could be made that when you look plus Justin Herbert, you're looking at stats in there when he basically lost his entire offensive line, while Jalen Hurts has lost one piece of his offensive line. I don't think the weight of that loss is equal.
They have
right?
similar
Damn
completion
near.
percentage.
Yes.
64.7, you might as well round that up to 65 to 65.6. You might as well round that up to 66. Like,
Well, it's 1
they're very
percentile
similar.
point difference.
So they're very
1
similar
percentile
players.
point difference.
I
Now,
don't know if I'm willing to
let me
say
put this straight to you. Jalen Hurts is 8-5. Justin Herbert is 9-4 with a worse roster than the Philadelphia Eagles. Justin Herbert has a higher percentage completion. Let's not go into they're similar. Justin Herbert has a higher percentage completion. Justin Herbert has more yards. Justin Herbert has a lower yards per attempt by 0.1. Justin Herbert has more touchdowns thrown, 5 more interceptions than Jalen Hurts at this point of in time. And he has about where's the attempts? You're seeing the attempts. What's the attempt number? It's 40 difference, right? But how many attempts is Jalen Hurts averaging?
422 to attempts. That's I'm in rushing. I'm sorry. 422 to 382.
Okay, so Justin Hurts is averaging how many attempts per game? It's right around the 22, 24?
Let's see. Let's see if I can go to attempts per game. Oh, it really doesn't give that? So I have to do 422 divided by 13. Okay. Making me do math, making us pay the math. 32 attempts a game.
32 attempts a game. So it's basically one game less for Jalen Hurts. I think the argument could be made, since one guy is on a worse team, that he's playing at least better football than Jalen Hurts. I don't think it's egregious to say that.
Despite the fact he also has a significantly better coaching staff around him.
Okay, I could give you the coaching staff, but one guy's playing with a broken hand.
Well, recently playing with a broken hand. He played that
the last 2 games. Half of the Raiders game played with a broken hand.
Yeah, fair.
So
Jalen Hurts also has a lot more rushing production than as far as touchdowns goes because of the tush push. You're talking about 1 rushing touchdown versus 8. So I think the touchdown comparison
but how many rushing
might
yards?
Not be fair. Yards?
Yes.
337 versus rushing 419. So he has more.
He has more.
Herbert has
Herbert has
more.
more, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, unless you really want me to say that because Jalen Hurts runs the tush push like 5 times per game and he's getting touchdowns because of it, I don't think
I guess
that's
the argument
enough.
is, do you think Herbert could run the tush push?
They run it at the highest amount of any team in the league. The Chargers do, and they run it at the most successful rate of any team in the NFL. They're just not running it inside of the 5 or the 2 because they're not getting those positions. But when you look at push tush stats in terms of all over the place, they're running at a better
You
place than
would
the
have
Eagles right
tush
now.
push stats. You would have tush push stats.
They are the
Anyway,
best team in the league when it comes to the tush push. So I think if they're in the same situation, Harbaugh loves the tush push even more than Sirianni. I think if they were in the same situations, Justin Herbert would be getting the same sort of production, since everywhere else on the field is getting the same sort of production in terms of conversions. So I think it would be fair to say that. So
no,
okay,
I think it's close. Anyway, go on with your list.
Stafford.
Uh,
I mean, Stafford
much,
is an MVP candidate. What are we doing?
yeah, fair. I was gonna
One
say
guy,
Stafford's a
one
much
guy
better
was just
thrower, but
one guy was just the first QB ever to throw an interception and fumble in the same play. So I don't know. I think there's levels to this. Dak,
Dak
MVP candidate
Prescott.
at a point. I mean, MVP candidate this year at some point. Playing
No,
better football. Okay, why
I think you
not?
got. I think if there's one argument to be made about having better weapons, I think Dak has better weapons than Hurts. Does he not?
No, I don't know.
No,
On offense, the wide
on
receivers
offense.
are better. The running back is worse. The offensive line is worse.
Is the running back worse? The running back is playing. I'd argue the running back's playing better than Saquon this year.
Okay. Passing stats. Why is this only showing me like their head-to-head games? Compare players.
Yeah, where
Choose.
Jalen Hurts is one.
They're 1-1. What do you mean Jalen Hurts just won?
No, not
Dak
just one. Has one
was
historically.
okay. I'm trying to see where. Oh no, because this shows me head-to-head stats, but I think here. No, this is showing me passing. No, okay, this is okay. So Dak has more passing yards. Dak has more pass yards per attempt. Dak has more passing yards per game. Dak has more passing touchdowns. Dak has 4 more interceptions. Dak has a better completion percentage, a better QB rate. I think it's fair to say that in terms of this year, take all of your bias away from your Super Bowl winning QB. Take all of that away. I think Dak is at least playing to a better level than Jalen Hurts right now. So this is my list. I'm going to count Dak. Dak is in. Okay, so we have Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Dak, Stafford. So we're looking at 6 right now. Then I can look at some other ones. Easy layup, Drake May, MVP candidate.
Yes,
I think
Drake May
that's
is it. One.
simple as. Lamar is the tricky one because I think Lamar
Lamar's
is
having a pretty
better,
rough season, my man.
but he's having the pretty rough season because of the injury. I think prior to the injury, he would be in. Right now, I think it's 50-50. I think the offense would look similar enough. So I'm not counting Lamar because of that. So we're looking at 7 guys right now. Other than that, I think I'm going to count Purdy because since Purdy has been back from injury, he's been a top 5 QB in the league in all major passing categories. So that would be 8. Then I'm looking at Jared Goff, which I think is basically Jalen Hurts without the legs, but with a better arm. And I think the offense would look similar enough because You basically just need a tush push at this point. So I'm looking at 9.
Oh my god!
And
You're
finally,
giving yourself some fringe cases. Anyway, go on.
just finishing up the list, Daniel Jones, 10. Because
Daniel Jones isn't even playing.
Daniel Jones is the white Jalen Hurts. Okay?
Daniel Jones isn't even playing.
Okay. I mean, he tore his Achilles right now. I'm not doing a list for like next week. I'm doing a list to this point. Would the Eagles look better or not? And they would. They would look better with Daniel Jones.
They would
Because
not.
Daniel Jones, in a similar situation but with a worse defense, is playing better than Jalen Hurts. So that's 10 guys. That effectively puts Jalen Hurts outside of the top 10. And I'm not even counting the fringe guys. I'm not even counting Baker,
I think
Caleb.
saying Daniel Jones is really, really, really like generous. You're talking about a guy who had Saquon Barkley and Malik Neighbors at one point, and they gave up on him. Like, really?
Yes. And now he has JT and he has Michael Pittman. And everyone was calling him an MVP candidate at some point. So
Right,
what
but
do
do
you
you
want me to
not
tell
think
you?
that's more because of schemes and less because of
Yes.
Daniel
Yes. And
Jones
that's
is a
exactly
better
my point.
natural quarter?
And that's exactly my
Jalen
point.
Hurts doesn't
It's
have the
be-
schemes. Oh
He
my
had, in all of the seasons in which he went to a Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl, he had the schemes. He had the best OCs, he had the best DCs, he had the best defense, he had the best offense around him. Everything was perfect for him. He is a scheme QB. He is a glorified game manager. He is Daniel Jones.
glorified.
It's what it is. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever been as right on that thing as I am on this one. Daniel Jones this season, more passing touchdowns, or actually the same amount of passing touchdowns, more passing yards, yards per attempt, yards per game, better completion percentage, better QB rate. What do you want me to tell you?
Your Jalen Hurts hate makes me sick.
Hey, at least I'm right now. Everyone is seeing what I've been seeing. Hey, sure. Keep giving him the props. Like Philly Radio is mad at this guy. Philly Radio wants him gone. It's over. It's over. They are done with this bullshit. They are not having this anymore. It's a beautiful day. I wake up on a Tuesday morning. I wake up. I go to the internet. The first thing that I see on Reddit is Philly Radio losing it at Jalen Hurts because of how bad he played versus the Chargers. That all of this is a QB problem. Everything is related to Jalen Hurts that he's been playing to an absolute abysmal level. I've been hearing benching calls for Jalen Hurts. Let's not forget, this is the same city that turned when Carson Wentz had the MVP season. Let's not even forget that for all the love that everyone wants to give to Jalen Hurts is this, Jalen Hurts is that, Jalen Hurts is amazing. Every single year, the Eagles are good. He is never in MVP conversation because everyone knows it's not him, it's the team. You could put Shedeur Sanders out there. The team would look about the same.
Oh my! The hate is just ridiculous. Like, do you just get off on hating like Jalen Hurts? Like, what did he do to you? How did he hurt you? Where did he hurt you on the doll?
He did nothing. Everyone around him that just glorifies this dude as some amazing QB, a top 10 QB in the league, a top 5 QB in the league. This is absolutely asinine. People want to put him in this pedestal of this guy's a top 5 QB in the league. Okay. But they don't want to deal with the criticism that comes with a top 5 QB in the league. They don't want to deal with the criticism of being an MVP, a Super Bowl champion. They don't want to deal with that. Like, Patrick Mahomes plays bad for a season. Everyone jumps on the guy. Chiefs dynasty is over. Everything is over. Josh Allen has a bad game. Oh my god, they're relying too much on Josh Allen. Josh Allen is terrible. Joe Burrow doesn't have a defense. He's losing games. The difference between Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco is nothing. Let's trade Joe Burrow. But when the things come for Jalen Hurts, when the things come for Jalen Hurts, no one wants to hear it. Like, this guy is not good for the team. They parted ways with Carson Wentz for much less than what Jalen Hurts is doing right now. This is absolutely abysmal football that he's playing.
I can't defend it. It is pretty bad. But I believe in the guy, man. What can I say? I think I think the Eagles will be back. It will be okay.
Sorry. I think you're on an island there, my friend. Okay, but there were other games happening around the league, right? Let's not just focus on the crappy ass Eagles, the Dogwater Eagles. Um, Other games happened. Green Bay Packers. That was a sweet and sour game because it played out like most of the Chicago Bears game, in which they basically give up a full like 2 quarters for the Packers to play. And then they start coming back, and then they start scoring some points on the second half. They get it very close in the end. They allow Green Bay Packers to score a touchdown, and then in the very end, when Caleb is trying to do what he has been accustoming us to, um, he
What,
throws an
losing?
interception late. No, I mean they have 9 wins, so losing is not necessarily what he has been doing. He has been actually. I think he might have been one of the clutchest QBs this year, Caleb Williams. Not necessarily one of the best. That's not what I'm saying. Don't listen to what I'm not saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I think he has been one of the most clutch QBs in pulling out wins late. Because he basically plays like crap the first quarter and a half, and then he just starts ramping up, starts making plays, and starts winning games late. So I think in terms of like clutch QBs this year, I think you'd be hard pressed to find one that was more clutch than Caleb Williams. They have
That's
won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have won 6 games by 1 possession or less. They are actually 6-1, 6 and they're 6-2 in 1 possession games. That's clutch, man. That's the same stat that Patrick Mahomes had. Um, and this year they've completely lost. But they
or they
couldn't pull the
just
win on this one.
maybe if you play 4 good quarters, you can win.
Hey, they just football coaches ate this one simple trick, right?
I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
they, I
you're right.
I think how you feel about the Eagles, I feel about the Bears. Like I don't think they're gonna win a game
A game, a
in the
playoff game.
playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. Um, could be. I think because of coaching, I think there's some matchups they could exploit and they could get some wins. But I would not be shocked if they don't win a playoff game because again, this is a team that was picking top 10 last year. So let's not get this twisted. Like they were not supposed to be this far ahead.
Look at you freaking like what's the word? Trying to hedge your bets on the Bears. Like you're playing it
I mean,
safe, like Alex
I
always
think I think
does.
I've been hey, I think I've been proven right on the Bears. I was pretty adamant that Caleb Williams is good. I mean, so far he has been having a decent to good season. Um, and they've won 9 games so far. So I think for all intents and purposes, they have been doing what I've said they've been doing. Like Ben Johnson is good. The pieces around Caleb are good. Caleb is playing well now that he has an actual coach. Um, so I think in terms of what I said about the Bears, I think I should be right on. I didn't say they would win the Super Bowl. I didn't say they would like be great in the playoffs. I just said they would be a good team, and that's what they are. They're a good team. They are 9-4 team. So I think they're right there. Just faced a team that was. I mean, the Packers run hot and cold, and they ran into a hot game. Jordan Love had 34 yards passing, 17 of 25, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Jacobs had 86 yards, if I'm not mistaken, running a touchdown. They're getting some of the pieces. Watson has been amazing since coming back from injury. Jaden Reed comes back from injury and is immediately the wide receiver one in the team. They are still missing Tucker Kraft, but I think Jaden Reed sort of makes up for the loss of Tucker Kraft in that sense. And yeah, Mike is playing decently, not amazing, not to the standard that they paid him to. But he's been
And
playing
did they?
well. I mean, for what they paid, I think you would expect more than 7 pressures and 1 hit in a game that was essentially for the lead of the division at this point in the season. So, but yeah, I think the Packers are a solid team. I think the Packers are not a team that is ready for this big moment. I think they're still going to the playoffs. Everything is okay in that, but they show that they're not at that level yet. They're just to the level that they beat the Eagles, but not the Packers. Packers a bit much.
And yet you picked the Bears. You called
I
it an
picked the
easy
Bears
pick.
plus. I picked the Bears
Six and a
plus
half.
6.5. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. The game was
The
7,
what? 9 and
so
2,
I was
9 and
right
3,
there.
9 and 3 Bears, the number one seed in the NFL. They were giving up they were giving 6.5 points, and they still couldn't cover. Like, how disappointing were you? Like, where's your Jalen Hurts style rant about that? Oh, they just weren't. They just weren't, up to the task. They were picking in the top five last year. The
I
team's
think
not that
it's
good. It just has
telling.
one missed offensive lines in the game. That's
Hey,
all. They've spent,
I
the last infinite amount of draft picks on people to throw to, and who knows how much
I
money.
hey,
But
I'm not even. I don't even
no,
need to make
the
a point
poor,
here
the,
because you're
the
making
poor
my point
Bears,
for me.
the
You
poor
are at a
Bears,
point. You are in a point in which you need to compare the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles
the
to
poor
the
Bears,
previously 6-11 Chicago Bears. So
poor
this is the
Chicago
point that
Bears.
we're in. Hey, it's perfect that you're comparing them. They're right in the same level. The Eagles are not this great team in the NFL anymore, and it's good that you're realizing it and you're comparing two teams that are basically in the same realm. Like the Bears do beat the Eagles, like that happened last week, I know, but they're in the similar enough level, so it's okay. They're not winning a playoff game, as you said. They're not winning a playoff game, and that's the same level that you're putting the Eagles in, and I'll take it. Because you're trying to draw those comparisons to what I said about the Eagles, so you're probably putting them in the same echelon, I would imagine. So, fair play. Thank you for admitting that you think they also are not winning the playoff game, the Eagles. So,
The Eagles will be fine.
yeah, for sure, for sure. You've been telling me that for like the last 3 weeks. I'm sure you're gonna pick the Eagles again this upcoming week because this is the week in which they finally bounce back. Just like it was last week that they were finally bouncing back, and the week prior they were finally bouncing back. So we'll stay tuned to that. As for teams that are actually good, my Seattle Seahawks just completely dusted the Atlanta Falcons. So we move. And upcoming, we have the biggest challenge that we've faced this season so far. Because I don't think there's much to say about the Seattle Seahawks game. I was obviously wrong. I thought the Atlanta Falcons would be able to cover, but we completely destroyed them, and the offense couldn't really do much. And for that, we now are getting an even better team that we're going to face with an even better QB. Because this week, Angelo, do you know who we face this week?
Is it the Eagles?
No. This week, Angelo, we are facing the Indianapolis Colts,
Oh,
now led by one Philip Rivers. He's back, baby. Best shape of his life.
I think this whole Philip Rivers thing is just insane. The man, just let the man retire. What's wrong with letting? Bygones
Hey,
be bygones. You know, you,
that's what you need to ask him. He's the one coming out of retirement. He's willing. No one's pointing him a gun to his head. Does he
I mean, the
really hate
Colts
his kids as much?
just doesn't want to see. I'd be more worried if I was his wife. Does he not want to see his wife?
No. I mean, dude has like 11 kids. He can build
Yeah.
an offense with the kids that he has. He's
Yeah.
just like, he has been 4 years at home and he's like, I'm done with this shit, man. I
Yeah,
cannot for the
apparently.
life of me be with the kids
I
anymore.
gotta return to the freaking Colts. Like, Jesus.
Do you know who the Colts still are going to face this season? Because that's kind of the insane part.
Go, Chargers, go.
No, so they are going to be facing this year still. So next week they're facing us, the Seattle Seahawks, with the very good defense that we have. Then after us, they're going to be
Yeah.
playing the San Francisco 49ers, Jacksonville Jaguars, and at the Houston Texans.
Oh, he's gonna die. That's what you're telling me. We're gonna watch a murder streamed in 4K on Amazon
But he's
Prime. Amazon
but he's
Prime.
in the best but he's in the best shape of his life, Angelo. Come on.
I mean, I'm glad you believe that. If
No,
so,
that's what
I
the
have
agent
a.
told us.
I'm sure the agent got paid a lot of money to say that. If you believe that, I got a beachside property in Boca I'd like to sell you, buddy.
And the thing is, his agent was all over the place saying like how great Philip Rivers is right now in shape. And the media, when you took the podium today, they basically were like, "Hey, so shape-wise, how are you? How are you feeling? Like, how's your mobility and all of that?" And he basically stood there and he said, "Hey, I'm not gonna be doing much of running, so I should be okay." Okay, that's
It's gonna be
great.
stationary. He's gonna be a statue in the pocket. I love that for
And,
Phil
and just so
against the
you
Texans
know,
specifically.
yeah, and just so you know, right now, week 16 versus the San Francisco 49ers. Right now, it's scheduled to be Monday Night Football. So we're going to be watching Philip Rivers in prime time in his second game back from retirement. The guy was about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I guess
And
screw
now he's gonna
that.
be playing. Now he's gonna be playing football on Sunday.
Hey, all perfect.
We'll
He's
see.
older than his offensive coordinator and he's a head coach. So you know.
I'm so happy for him.
And he's a granddad.
He is a granddad.
Okay. So who just had a kid that is like 3 months old. Everything about Philip Rivers just wows me, dude. I've learned so much about Philip Rivers. I thought the guy was coaching, and apparently he's just like ready to play ball. Fuck it, that's right. So Philip Rivers,
Philip always stays ready.
can Philip Rivers drive the
No,
Colts to the playoffs?
no.
They are, to be fair, they are currently sitting
There's
at what? They are sitting at
there's to be
eight
fair
and
about this.
five. They're sitting at 8-5. 2 wins probably gets them in for sure.
There is no to be fair about this. What's the
This
to
would
be
be
fair?
disastrous. This would be disastrous for the Colts because they traded their first round pick this year, next year for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah,
And
to go
since
all in on a
then,
guy who's on the IR and probably will be on the IR until well into next year.
ever since they made that trade, everything went south. Like they lost the first Buckner. They
Yep.
lost Daniel Jones right now. Sauce Gardner
Yep.
got hurt. He's out as well.
Yeah.
Everything went south since they made that trade. It's amazing.
Yeah, they should have kept to their guns, you know.
Hey, but Colts fans have been crying for so long that their GM is never aggressive in trades, never gonna make the push for it all. And when he finally does, it just goes south.
Yeah. It's like a living example of, hey, this is why you don't go all in. This is why you don't be aggressive. This is why
Hey,
this is why the Alex theory of fantasy football in the playoffs is actually the theory that you should go by. You know?
right? I'm still trying
So
to find a QB.
you had a QB that you could have had.
Yeah, for a guy who's now, again, as I said, a guy who's now averaging 22 points per game.
Does the
So,
context really matter?
yeah, it matters. It matters quite a bit. That plus Tua is better than what I would have gained from Jordan Love, plus the guy that I could start. So, and I'd still need to pay a second on top of that, which kind of egregious.
Hmm. Well, find yourself a better QB then.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I picked up Philip Rivers.
How's that going for you, buddy?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe he comes out and he's actually in the best shape of his life. Let's see.
You would be
Who
so happy
knows?
about that.
I would be thrilled. I don't know when I would start him, but I would be thrilled if that actually panned out. Hey, maybe second week of the playoffs versus the Niners would be the time to pull the trigger. Okay, but with this, the Jags win versus the Colts last week. Jags are not top of the division fairly cleanly at this point. Do you think this holds?
No.
But who wins this division then? Is it like no one wants to win the division?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's more likely the
Because
Texans win this division than anything else.
that would be so bad.
Why?
Just scum of the earth type of. Because I don't like the Jags, but I don't really have a gripe with anyone in the Jags. I don't like
Other than Trevor Lawrence,
Stroud.
apparently. Yeah, you have a problem with Stroud.
So
We know you're a Stroud
yeah,
hater.
Stroud hater, through and through. So I need to be proven right on that one. And I was for most of the game versus the Chiefs because Stroud looked. Let's not again. Okay, I think we can transition to that game. So Texans beat the Chiefs by 10, 20-10. Let's not fool you guys. This was not a CJ Stroud played well game. CJ Stroud played absolutely atrocious football. Like the dude was it almost got to Sam Darnold seeing ghosts bad. Because the guy, Specs, got some pressure on the guy early on, and holy crap, dude. All of it went to crap after that. Because he was at the smallest sense of pressure. He was throwing that puppy up there to like nowhere's land. He was like, he got pressure into his face. He threw some incompletions. After that, the pressure wasn't even getting to his face. It just broke the offensive line. Immediately, he throws a duck to the middle of the field where there's no one. I don't know what he was seeing, but for his luck, the Chiefs players just decided that they weren't up to catching. They really were not interested at all in catching footballs because
How much
Mahomes had.
investment do you think the Chiefs are going to do in weapons in the offseason,
I don't
including the
know. I've
draft?
been saying that. I've been saying that they need to invest in that for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
They've spent a few picks on it. Like
Specifically,
Xavier
Sky
Worthy
Moore.
was,
Yep, Xavier Worthy.
well, most recently Xavier Worthy and Rasheed Rice. I think both were good picks. Rasheed Rice is a very good wide receiver, but the thing is, the offense ran a lot through Kelsey, and Kelsey needs to retire quite soon because Travis is not the same player he was before. Um, and the pieces around them before were sort of okay. I think right now it's absolutely atrocious. Like Hollywood Brown looks god awful. They're running Isaiah Pacheco that just like seems to have lost all of his explosiveness right now. And a 30-something-year-old Kareem Hunt out there running the football. They're out like 3 offensive linemen at this point. So the defense is still solid, but Like, put Jalen Hurts here. They're probably picking top 5 next year. This is how bad we're doing.
Even your Hurts hate.
This is not looking good right now. And they dropped to 6-7 at this point. The best that they can do is 10 wins. The Chiefs, that is. And for that, they would need to run a gauntlet of Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. Okay, 2 of those are quite winnable, but they need to win all 4. And the issue that they also have is that they are losing the tiebreaker versus the Broncos, the Chargers, the Bills, and if I'm not mistaken, they're also losing it to another team. They're losing the tiebreaker to the Jags as well, and the Texans now.
Yeah, pretty rough out there.
So I think rough is an understatement at this point. They basically can tie with any team. It's what I'm mostly getting at. Is this the end for the Chiefs going to the playoffs, or think they can
This
pull it
year,
off? Yeah.
I don't think they should be able to pull it off, but I've seen crazier. Like like the Bengals making the playoffs is still technically a possibility.
Well, yeah, that is true. I think for them to make it in, they would
They have
need the
to
tiebreaker to be with the Colts. I'm saying the Chiefs. For the Chiefs to be in, the tiebreaker needs to be with the Colts. So both the Colts and the Chiefs with the same record, they would need the Texans to basically lose 3 of the next 4 games. They would need the Colts to win.
As much as you hate CJ Stroud, that's possible.
Hey,
You probably see.
I'm looking at their schedule. I think the Cardinals is they're facing the Cardinals and the Raiders. I think they win both of those games. So because of that, I think they would
You
be
think the
out.
dream is dead? You think the
I
dream
think the
is
dream
dead?
is dead. I would need the Cardinals to pull off a miracle basically today because I have no faith on the Raiders. Absolutely need the Raiders. So it needed to be the Cardinals, and I don't think the Cardinals are up for it. I think they're gonna get smacked.
So
And
I
because of that,
famously do not research draft prospects for the combine. Do you think there is a world where the Chiefs draft the first wide receiver on the board in this upcoming draft? Then
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't think they would have the pick for that. I think they would need to move up
Quite a bit.
quite a bit. Because even if they don't make that, I don't see a vision. I don't see a world in which they don't win at least games, and they could win 9. Heck, they could win 10 and not make the playoffs. So I always think they're going to be around 15. And the mocks that I've been seeing recently have the first wide receiver right around 6. 6-5 is going to be the place where the first wide receiver gets drafted. No lower than 7. So the jump would need to be like pretty big. When you go inside of it, it's always going to be big.
Fair. I could see it. I don't know, but we'll see.
So Chiefs, their chances are absolutely slim. They need to pray that the Cardinals beat the Texans this week. That's living on the prayer. Or the Cardinals or the Raiders next week. That's it. Or the Jags to lose like all games, the Texans to win 2 games, and the Colts to win 2 games. I think would also work because the tiebreaker would then be for the Colts. And I think that's an even crazier scenario because, yeah, the Jags face the Jets this week. So I don't know if I'd gone more on the Jets or the Cardinals at this point. Okay, so bad game by Stroud, but the defense is just absolutely amazing. It's one of the best in the league right now, if not the best. So they make up for it.
I think the
9
playoff
comes
bracket
back.
when we get there is gonna. Yeah, this guy.
It's gonna be amazing. 9. 9 is back, baby. He just let 9 loose. JJ McCarthy let him loose. Points only, because if you look at actual passing stats, dude passed for like $163. So he didn't do much in terms of passing, but he was efficient. He had 23 attempts. Yeah, he completed 16 passes. 3 touchdowns, 129 passer rating. Jaden Daniels went out again. Only 25 dropbacks this week, and he's now hurt again. I hope they don't put him back in for the sake of everything, because their season is over. But let's see what they do. And despite all of this, Justin Jefferson still couldn't put up a good game.
Are you concerned for Justin Jefferson? Is Justin Jefferson outside the top 5 wide receivers in fantasy/dynasty?
Dynasty, no. Fantasy, I think there is outside of the 20s at this point in weekly rankings. You have no confidence in starting this. This guy's a wide receiver 3 right now. There's no offense here. When you're passing for 160 yards, there's not much to go around here. It's the issue.
Yeah, no, that is the problem. The Vikings offense is woefully bad, which is really surprising because Kevin O'Connell's defense, at least in the offense, at least in the past, has been fairly well.
Yeah, but that's when he had Sam Darnold. Sammy Biscuits runs it perfectly.
I mean, even then there were years where Jefferson didn't have the best quarterback play, and he still seemed to produce. But
Oh yeah, but there's best QB play, and then there's playing with 9. Quite different things. Like not having the best, having an average sort of QB. 9 is 9, man. It's like
9 is 9.
Not know about that, man. On a scale from 0 to 10, from 0 to 100, 9 is 9.
9 is.
So I wouldn't put a lot of hope into this performance. I think it's mostly a team that we saw on Monday facing the Broncos, and they not Monday. I think it was
Do you think 9
Sunday
is
Night
done?
Football.
Do you think the Vikings look to find their next quarterback?
Uh,
9 is 9.
it depends on how the last 4 games go. You have some easy defenses coming up. You have the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Lions. None of them have great defenses. The Cowboys, since the trades, look better on defense on the front 7, but the secondary is absolute garbage. Yes, with Quinn and Williams. But Giants, their defense is terrible. The Lions, riddled with injuries. Their defense is nothing to write home about. Then they face the Packers. That is not a good test for him. But let's see what he does in the next 4 games. I think they're looking for solutions next year. They're going to go the route of we're bringing in competition for JJ McCarthy, and after he sucks in training camp, they are going to go with the competition. And I think it's going to be similar enough to that. It's a similar situation to Anthony Richardson, I think.
Damn.
Maybe they even grab Daniel Jones. He probably not ready to start the season. So they look into another guy. I think that's mostly what's going to happen. But yeah, the Commanders, they're done. They played very well versus the Broncos on Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, that is, the week prior. But it's just they spent their last gas in there. It's the team is done. So there you go. I have a small rant on this one. We need to talk about the Broncos and the Raiders. So that game, both of us at 7.5. That's the line for the game. Broncos minus 7.5. The Broncos are leading the Raiders 24-14 with like 5 seconds left. So I'm thinking, okay, this is over. Like the Raiders are always going to go for the touchdown. They're not going to get it. And we're going to win this. Simple as. Those motherfuckers. The league needs to investigate this. Because
Investigate this.
Pete Carroll calls a timeout for the Raiders to kick a field goal while down 13 points. No, sorry. While down 10 points. He calls a timeout. Score a field goal. Time expires. And the Denver Broncos only win by when the line was 7.5. And the 3 points for there actually cashed over. If this is not the most fixed game this year, I don't know what is. What's the explanation? Why did they kick a field goal last time
Game?
expired? Why did they kick the field goal? What did it matter? There's 5 seconds left. Why are you kicking the field goal? Can you explain it to me? Can you find a reason?
I can't.
I think it's blatant and obvious that they fixed that game. That cashed the over. That covered it for the Raiders. Like, league needs to look into Pete Carroll's retirement account because there's something funky. There's something funky in there.
You thought the fix was in. Pete Carroll made the call, and he said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're kicking a field goal here."
Someone needs to look into the phones of everyone in the Raiders organization, see what they were doing betting wise, see if they had BetMGM installed, if they had DraftKings installed, what was going on those cell phones, because there's no chance in the world in which this wasn't played. Like there's nothing. There's absolutely no way that you can find a scenario here in which the Raiders got anything from that field goal outside of pocket into Pete Carroll and Mark Davis's alleged pocket. I always need to say alleged. Alleged. Everything here is alleged. PSA.
For your information. I don't know. It was kind of sad that I didn't hit on that. Alex, you didn't hit very many of your picks, though. What happened, buddy?
I mean, bad breaks, I guess. That's what I'm gonna call them. That's what you need to go. Well, first of let's look at some of the losses. Let's look at some of the losses that I had. So I lost the Dallas Cowboys, as you did, because we knew that was a trap game from the start. I lost the Atlanta Falcons. We jinxed them. Sure. We lost the Atlanta Falcons because bad read on that one. Not really an excuse. I lost the Commanders because 9 became 900. I lost the Broncos because Pete Carroll screwed me.
Yes, he cares.
Tampa Bay comes out flat, and I'm done with that one. KC looked like KC looked like I could actually cover it for a minute there, and then no one in KC knew how to catch passes. And not only that, but not only did they forgot how to catch passes, they also turned every single catchable pass that they had into an interception, which is even the crazier part. Not only are you losing the down, you're losing the possession. Like Travis Kelce drops the football, like he catches with his hands, the ball goes up to his helmet, he drops it as well, and then the Houston Texans defender picks it up. Perfect. Turnovers after turnovers. And then the Chicago Bears are lost by half a point. Hooked there. Cardinals bad read on me, so I'll take that one on the shin. And the Browns, I trusted Shadur. That's all that I can say.
I trusted Shador. That's all that I can say.
Who did play a bit better. I'll give him credit. He played a bit better. Still
I
lost.
told
So
you. I
it's
told
like
you to take the. What did I say when we were recording that episode? I said this feels like one of them Browns trap games where you're gonna come in and you're gonna expect them to perform,
to
and
be fair, to be
Browns and
fair,
expectations don't go together, Alex. They're not synonyms. They're antonyms. I got to teach you English again.
to be fair,
Go on.
you picked the Tennessee Titans because you said, and I'll quote you on this one. You said, I can see this being the sort of game that is 10-7.
Facts.
This was the third highest scoring game of the week.
Hey, just because I was wrong doesn't mean that the
So
feeling
the
was wrong.
process, all of the process was wrong. But hey, when you're lucky, right?
My grandfather always told me, Angelo, I'd rather be lucky than good.
See?
See?
So it's actually Papa Angelo knew it.
Yeah, exactly. His name actually was Angelo, so.
See, so it's actually Papa Angelo. Okay, so final games here. Speak to me about your Bengals, Angelo. We were both watching the game. The defense held it as much as they could. They weren't really breaking, and then in the fourth quarter, they broke. They
Jalen
broke
Burrow
all the way
making
down.
mistakes like that. Like, the two interceptions were killer. Like, I kind of
Yeah.
had this feeling, especially, like, as the game progressed and as we started to, like, lose ground, is like, oh, Joe Burrow really can't have a throw interceptions in this game, can he? And then he threw the first one. I was like, okay, we're okay as long as we don't get a second one. And then the second one came, and I was like, we're probably not winning this one, huh? So
And it
uh,
actually affected you guys massively, not
it did.
having
It
Trey
did.
Hendrickson. Because we were talking, the news broke when we were talking about here on the show. And we were about, okay, Hendrickson not playing is the thing that gave us pause. We still picked the Bengals. We were still right because the line was 7.5. So we covered that one. But I think
Actually,
if
6.5
he's
when I bet.
available,
I still hit.
yeah. So that was always going to be a winner. But that was the thing that in terms of winning this game for our bet to be alive, which it still is, but the amount of things that needs to happen right now is not good. Um,
For
although it's
sure.
better that the Steelers won than the Ravens won, because I still trust a bit more in the Ravens than I trust the Steelers. So the Steelers fumbling it is easier than the Ravens fumbling it, I think. Um, so But Hendrickson was the difference maker. Not having Hendrickson, like Josh Allen was running wild on you guys. He put it on his legs to end the game, and in the end, and that's what made a real big difference. Despite the Christian Brentford interception, which was amazing, Burrow threw this interceptions really hurt. But I think the game was right there. You guys were right there. It was, to my eyes, the best game of the week.
Yeah.
I think it proved that you guys should be right around the playoff contention, because I mean the Bills will be right in there, and you gave the Bills all they could handle.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not disappointed. I am disappointed we lost, but I'm also proud of the performance the Bengals put forward. I think the schedule gets vastly easier after this game, and you know, you just got to win out and may the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right now you need to win out, and winning out, you need the Ravens to lose another game if you're gonna win out. So looking at the Ravens, who do they face? So looking at the Ravens, you need the Ravens to lose one of the Patriots, the Packers, and the Steelers, which I think it's very doable.
Yeah,
I think
especially
maybe even
Packers.
the Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots or the Packers. I think it's going to be the easiest one.
Yep.
And then for the Steelers, you are going to need the Steelers to lose two games. And the two games, they face the Lions, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Dolphins. I still think it's doable, man. I think at Detroit is nothing to scoff at. I think they could struggle very much there. I think
Offense
at
has
the
been hot.
Browns, yes. I think at the Browns is going to be the challenge that they're going to have because the defense is, they're going to eat them alive. And I don't know, call me crazy, but I think this Dolphins game is not easy at all. Like the Dolphins are on one right now. The Dolphins have won
Yeah,
4 in a row right now.
they have.
And they're still in playoff contention, for as crazy as it seems, for a team that started like 0-6, 1-6, that is, sorry. 1-6, they're in playoff contention. They're right there. So I think it's not going to be an easy game. It's in Pittsburgh, so it's a bit better for them. But they really don't have easy games going forward. So you guys need to be on yours. You need to win your game and move from there. It's the Ravens this week. Then it's at the Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. Let's see.
I think we can
I
do
think
it.
it's doable. I think it's
I think
doable.
it's
I
very,
think
I think it's very
it's very
challenging,
doable.
but yes, it's doable.
We stay on our bets. We stay on our bets.
Yep, we stand on business here.
Stand on business. Let's go. And then the Steelers, they beat the Ravens in a game that broke out much like I thought. So Lamar, the offense, they put up some more points. Lamar's starting to run a bit more, but the offense still is missing some pieces in there. Like he's still having trouble connecting with his targets. Not everything is going smoothly. They're still struggling using Derrick Henry, who has not been super effective this year. They didn't get the win on this one. They're in a very precarious position. So let's see what they can do moving forward. I think the Steelers, this is another one in which people will buy into this win and they think, hey, DK Metcalf, he finally hit a big one, a big target. He went for a buck 48 receiving. I don't think anything in that offense is solved, to be honest. So I think it's still your division to win. Let's pray. No more hiccups happen here.
I got more confidence in the Bengals beating the Ravens again. So we'll see. I don't know if you looked at the spread, but I definitely did because I had to place the bet.
Of what? No, actually, wait. I'm looking at it. Oh, the Steelers can only win one game. Okay, so that's worse. I thought they could win two. They can only win one. Because if they win two, they're going to be at 9 wins. So, Dolphins really need to help us out here. Because if the Dolphins win, this looks like the more beatable game that they have. If the Dolphins win, we might have a real chance at this one. We pray. What lines were you talking about? I saw some spreads. I didn't see all of them.
The Bengals one.
I saw it. Yeah, I'm on, again. I'm on the Bengals. It's kind of where I need to be. So spoiler alert. It is what it is. Okay, shall we just jump straight into the picks then?
Yes.
Okay. So Thursday night football. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers 6.5-point favorites. Not been playing their best football at this point. Just got beat by the Saints, which is never good. Mike Evans is back. Jalen McMillan is back. But I don't think that makes a huge amount of difference because like they were having Godwin out there, they were having Book out there, Bucky Irving is back. So I don't think offense is their biggest concern. I think the offensive line isn't playing as well. I think Baker isn't playing as well, which is an issue. I think a lot of people will look at this line and be like, Tampa Bay 6.5, Atlanta is terrible. Atlanta just got completely destroyed by the Seahawks. Mike Evans is back, Jalen McMillan is back. Tampa Bay is going to be an heavy favorite. And I'll tell you what, I looked at the actual live line, and right now it's 4.5. So it dropped to what we had here at 6.5. I think this is a killer number for Atlanta. I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks plus 6.5.
And the Falcons, not the Hawks. The Hawks are you,
Yeah,
buddy.
No, I was thinking about
The Atlanta Hawks
the
are basketball.
basketball. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, good, yeah. Atlanta
I'm
Falcons.
actually gonna go with the Buccaneers on this one, the 6.5. I do think it's a concerning number. That said, I think most of the reasons for the Bucks, um, God, poor play has come down to like Baker was just not been healthy. I think another week under his belt. I think that the Bucks are gonna come back out strong.
Hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
right.
this uh the Cleveland Browns head to Chicago to play the Bears. The Bears are favored by 7.5 points in Chicago.
Chi-town.
Give me the Browns. Give me Shador. Give me the defense. Give me the seven
Mm.
and a half points. I spoiler alert. I think there's a chance the Browns win this game outright.
I think this is
Caleb
an
is not
interesting
good
game.
into a good pass rush.
I
Caleb
think
has
this is an
not been good.
interesting game because I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I think both teams will look to set up the run early. I think the Browns fall behind in the beginning, but inconsistent QB play probably puts the Browns a back bit into it at the start of the second half, and they're probably gonna hang in there. I think the Bears win. I think it's going to be by around 4 to 5 points. Wouldn't be shocked if it's 10, but the scenarios that I'm playing out in my head, I think it's easier for the Cleveland Browns to cover in a low scoring game. So I'll take the Browns plus 7.5. This does feel like a trap line, though, to me. This feels like a line that I don't know who would pick Chicago minus seven
You
and a half because of
activated
how
my
good.
card.
Yeah, the one thing that concerns me is that the Cleveland Browns defense doesn't travel so good this year. So going on the road in Chicago could be problematic if the defense isn't playing up to their best standard. And that's the one thing that concerns me. But I'm still gonna go with Cleveland plus 7.5. Okay, next up,
Talk
Baltimore
about the next one.
Ravens. Yeah, and we've said our piece basically, but it's Ravens at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are 2.5 point underdogs. I need the Bengals to win out, so I'm gonna take the Bengals plus 2.5. Not much to say here.
Both going Bengals 2.5. Um,
Simple as.
simple as. Oh God. Next one. Arizona Cardinals heads to Houston, where Houston is favored by 9.5 points. I know they just covered 10 points against the Chiefs. I do not trust the Texans with large spreads like this. I think that they can be very boomer busty. So with that said, I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Everything in me is telling me that I should go with the Cardinals as well because the line is too big. But I don't know. Marv is still going to be out. The Texans have the best defense in the league. They're going to be able to double cover Michael Wilson, take out Trey McBride out of the game. And after that, you have like practice squad guys playing football for them. Trey Benson is not coming back this year, so it's still going to be Zonovan Knight running the football. The Houston Texans have an elite rushing defense as well. I can see the Cardinals just being completely rattled from the very start. I don't think CJ Stroud is going to do much in this game. I think it's going to be a game for Woody Marks if he's ready to go. They're going to run the ball a ton. They're going to make the short passes. They're going to keep possession a bunch. I think the Cardinals fall deep into a hole early. They're going to be down 14 zip probably by the half or something around those lines. Then they need to throw the ball more, and then it's going to lead to interceptions, turnovers. I don't think it's going to be a pleasant Sunday for the Cardinals. So I'm going to go with the Texans minus 9.5 here. Okay. The New York Football Jets at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are 11.5 point favorites in this one.
This is unbelievable.
Um,
This is a crazy line.
the thing is, Tyrod Taylor is not practicing. Justin Fields is not practicing. I don't know. I don't even know who's gonna play for the Jets. Is it gonna be Brady Cook again? Because Brady Cook looked god awful, man. He looked absolutely atrocious in that one. Nothing in that offense even worked. So I don't know that I think I'm gonna go with the Jags. I don't love the Jags, but it is what it is in this point.
I'm gonna go against my better judgment, and I'm gonna take the Jets. Just again the Jags into 11.5 points. I don't like it. I don't like it, Alex. And I don't take what I don't like. Next, Chargers head to Kansas
This,
City.
by the way,
Huh?
these results that I'm basically projecting, so Jags winning, Houston winning, makes the chances of KC going to the playoffs almost none. They would need the Chargers to lose out or the Bills to lose out. That's it.
Anyway, so a
So
freshly eliminated Kansas City would head into Kansas City to face the Chargers, where Kansas City is favored by 4.5 points. I'm going with the Chargers here. The Chiefs of old. I think these spreads on the Chiefs are like lines that the previous Chiefs would have gotten. This is not the Chiefs of old. This is the new Kansas City Alex Smith led Chiefs. No, like this is mid. This is the definition of mid. Give me the Chargers. Marion Hampton's back. The Chargers are starting to get a little bit healthier. Like, yeah, give me the Chargers.
mm, I think I'm still gonna go with KC. I think KC's backs against the wall. I think they're gonna play every game to win it. I think they were much more in that Texans game than the final score gives them credit for. I think, heck, if I would have to trace back one play that screwed the Chiefs in that one is going for it on like 4th and 1 in their own 35, if I'm not mistaken. They go for it. Texans stop them. Whole different ball game. Because if they punt, again, they're down 3. If they punt, I think they get another stop because CJ Stroud was doing nothing. And they don't punt. And immediately the Texans get into a position in which they score the field goal, and then it kind of snowballs from there because they have to take so much more risk to get back into that game. I think that was the one play that changed that game. I don't think it's going to happen here because the Chargers, although improving, Herbert didn't look great in that game versus the Eagles. The end is definitely a concern for me. Still, the broken hand. On defense, I think they're good, but I think the Chiefs' defense is probably the best unit in this game. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs -4.5. Spags is gonna put Herbert into pressure, and let's see what Herbert can do with a broken hand. What can he do here? I don't know. We'll move from there. I think the Chiefs win this one, and I'll take the 4.5 as well. Next up, the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Patriots are 1.5 point underdogs in this one. And I think it's like Patriots off a bye, Bills off a highly emotional game. I think the Bills will want to go in there, put some revenge for what happened in the first like couple weeks when they faced the Patriots. Patriots getting a lot of disrespect right now. They have the best record in the league, or tied for the best record in the league. They're still underdogs at home versus the Bills, so they're telling them, "Hey, Bills are a better team than you guys." I don't think so. I think they're a better team. I think people are disrespecting them because they're playing their schedule. They don't have wins versus teams that are currently in the playoff. They have one win, and it's versus the Bills. But you get to play who your schedule says that you're gonna play. And I think they're every bit as much of a team as the Bills. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots +1.5 because I think they're the better team. I think they have the better weapons, and I think they have the better QB this year. So
Yeah, give me the Bills. Give me the Bills. I think they're winning this game. I don't think the Patriots are going to sweep the Bills, and 1.5 isn't enough to sway me. So yeah, give me the Bills. Next up, I got the worst fucking game of the week. The Washington Commanders go into the Meadowland to face the New York Football Giants. The Giants, for the first time since Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbu went out, are favored by 2.5 points. Maybe I'm just gonna let him keep hurting me. I'm gonna go with the Commanders again. I, I
I
don't
think
know.
that team is just like they've lost Jaden
They've
Daniels
given
yet
up.
again. Zach Ertz is now done for the season. He was one of the big leaders in that locker room. I think that team, they tried their very best versus the Broncos a couple of weeks ago. They couldn't get it done. Now it's like all the energy is out. The Giants, I mean, their defense is terrible, but so is the Commanders. If I'm not mistaken, Commanders are allowing points in 67.2% of their drives since their bye week, which is just an absolutely atrocious number. The Giants aren't much better. I believe they're allowing points in 80% of the drives that go inside of their 10. It's just insanely bad defense. I think it's going to be a fun game for all that it matters. It's going to be a high scoring game. I'm going to go with the Giants. Well rested. Start is out there. Slayton and Wandell have been doing nicely for them. Hey, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think the Giants win that one. Okay, now this is the test. The Las Vegas Raiders go on the road at Philadelphia to face the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 12.5-point favorites in this one.
Damn straight there.
Kenny Pickett is going to be QBing the Las Vegas Raiders most likely because Geno Smith doesn't look like he's going to go.
Uh-huh.
I've taken crazier risks before, so I guess give me the Raiders plus 12.5. I
Oh my
literally took the risk last week of having Trey Lance as my QB versus the Eagles. So I guess Kenny Pickett isn't much worse. Give me the Raiders plus 12.5. I hope Pete Carroll pays me back on this one. Pete, if you're down 15, kick the field goal, you fucker. For the love of God, kick the field goal if you're down 15.
Now he's actively trying to rig football games after rallying against them. You know what it is. The Eagles are getting back on track. This is the get right game. Give me the Eagles plus 12.5.
They can't get right versus the Raiders. I think you need to concede it's over. And they might not even make the playoffs at this point. If they don't beat the Raiders, the playoffs are in jeopardy. I hope you know that.
The good news is someone has to win the East, and it's not the Commanders and it's not the Giants. So the Eagles have a 50% chance at that point.
And in
Regardless,
Steiner math, that comes out to 78.2% chance of the Cowboys winning the division.
next up, an actual good football game: the Green Bay Packers going to Denver to face the Broncos. Jordan Love is hot. The defense is smoking. This is probably the battle of two great defenses. I do think that the disappointing Jordan Love game is like sneaking up on us, and I think that's what's going to happen this game, especially against a really good Denver defense. So I'm actually going to go Denver plus 2.5 here and take the points.
I'm going to go with Denver as well. I don't know. Packers are just such a high variance team. And I
I've
think
never something that made me want to switch so much. Go on, sorry.
and I think the Broncos are just like they are super consistent every single game in, game out. The defense is solid. Bo Nix makes the plays when he needs to make the plays. He might struggle
Specifically
a
in the
couple
fourth quarter.
quarters or so, but the fourth quarter it's when he comes out and he's shining, and he's getting them wins. I mean, they're 11-2.
Yeah.
Every single part of that unit is playing nice. Now that RJRV is better integrated into the team, they are playing nice with him as well. He's running the football. He's catching a lot of passes. I think they're a more complete football team that people want to give them credit for. I think none of the pieces are absolutely like excellent, but like receiving wise, Cortland Sutton playing well. Evan Ingram comes up big when the play needs him. Pat Bryant has come into being a very reliable wide receiver too this past couple of weeks. I think the Broncos are just a well-rounded team. They're not amazing at anything, but I think the variance
Say that
isn't
again.
there as the Packers are, and I don't think the Packers are great at anything either. So I'll take the Broncos. They're at home. I'm getting 2.5 points. I think I'm safe on this one. Okay, the 7-6 Carolina Panthers
Yep.
go to the New Orleans Saints.
Fresh off a win.
Fresh off a win, but the Panthers are fresh off a bye. The Saints are 2.5 point underdogs in this one. Ah, I think I'm gonna take Carolina. I think Carolina goes in there. They're feeling the division right there for the taking. They're tied with Tampa Bay right now. They haven't played Tampa Bay yet, so they need to catch up to Tampa Bay. They need to stay in level with Tampa Bay at this point. I think you go in, you beat the Saints, your division record improves, if I'm not mistaken, because then they would have, let me double check that. So, beating the Saints, first time they faced the Saints, they lost. Then they beat the Falcons, and they sweep the Falcons indeed. So they would be 3-1 in the division if they win this game, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be what in terms of record? Let me just double check that real quick. They would be 1-0, 2-0. Yeah, depends on what happens on Thursday Night Football because there's a scenario in which the Buccaneers go in and they have a worse divisional record than the Panthers at that point. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think the Panthers are right in there to win the division. They're playing solid enough football. Bryce Young is making the plays when he needs to make the plays. They're coming off a bye. I trust Callahan. So hey, they have that nice little duo of Rico Dowdle and Shub Hubbard playing. They're giving them like 40 carries amongst both of them. So they're gonna run the football and they're gonna win this game.
I actually agree with you. I do think this line is a bit in hindsight because of the win against the Bucks. So like the logic being, oh well, they beat the Bucks and the Bucks have the same record as the Panthers, so this must be a competitive game. I don't think so. I think it was just a good game. I think the Bucks were kind of slow. I think on the opposite end, the Panthers are kind of hot. So I think yeah, the Panthers are going to win. I think it's going to be more than 3 points. And yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going to take the Panthers. Next, oh my god, the Indianapolis Colts with retiree Philip Rivers going into the Seahawks. The
Say the
Seahawks
line, Angelo.
are favored by 13.5 points. You know the logic. First QB in. It's
The
gonna
logic
be nuts.
surely doesn't apply to a 45-year-old QB. Surely,
Give,
off of the
gi-
couch. He hasn't
give,
played in 4 years, Angelo.
give me the Colts.
Okay. Hey, it's your loss, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the 13.5 with the Seahawks. Heck, this could be 20. I don't know. Give me any line. I'm gonna take the Seahawks to cover it. Because I just don't know what to expect out of Little Rivers. I watched a few clips of him taking snaps at practice today. Dude looks like a mummy playing football. He has a beer gut at this point.
Beer belly. Oh
Guy was doing barbecues last week with for like his 20 plus people family. And now he's out there playing football versus our defense? Give me a break, Angelo. 13.5. We ride.
no.
Okay. Tennessee Titans at the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are 12.5 point favorites in this one. Niners actually top 5 scoring defense in the league, even without the major pieces that they're losing right now. They're still 9-4. Brock Purdy looks very solid right now. They're a game behind the division. Everyone still is sleeping on these guys. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I am going to take San Francisco minus 12.5. So, of course, Tennessee's going to cover this because they're going to score a return punt for a field goal.
So you went with Tennessee?
I'm going San Francisco. I'll
Fuck,
take
I
I'll
was
take
gonna
the
go
loss
San
on
Francisco. I've been
I'll
going
take
with
the
you
loss
too
on the special
much.
team.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee here. Yeah. Yep.
I'll
I
bite
think
my
we've agreed
loss.
on too
That's what
many.
happens.
Next up, Detroit Lions going into the Rams. The Rams are favored by 5.5 points. Give me the Lions here. I think there's a sneaky chance the Lions win. The Rams, the Rams have this kind of Jekyll and Hyde thing going where they look like the most dominant team in the NFL, followed by the most suspect team in the NFL against certain teams, and I think the Lions can give them fits. So give me the Lions here.
I'm right there with you. I think the rationale is similar enough in this one that I think the Rams are maybe the best team in the NFL. I'll give you that, sure. But the way that they've won some of these games leaves me a bit worried at times. So I think they went to Arizona, faced a very beatable Cardinals team, got the job done. Everything is done in there. But the Lions, they have this sort of. They're not as dangerous as they once were, but they're sneaky dangerous. Like everyone and their mother was on Cowboys last week, and the Lions got in there and they punched them in the mouth, and the Cowboys really didn't know what to do. I don't know if this isn't going to be a similar enough game in which the Lions go in there, they punch the Rams in the mouth, and we'll move from there. We'll see what the Rams can say about that. And I don't know if they're going to say enough to cover this line. This is nearly a touchdown. I don't think these teams are that different. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions plus 5.5. Okay, next up, it's 9 and the Minnesota Vikings going to the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are 6.5 point favorites in this one. They're 6-1. So they're close enough to the division in which this can actually happen because of that tie. Um, hmm, I think I'm gonna go with. See, I think I'm gonna go with. Gonna go. This is most intriguing game of the week to me. I really don't know what to pick in this one.
I do.
Have you set aside for sure? Are you? Do you know what you're picking in this one?
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to give it to you? Do you just want me to go?
No, I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys minus 6.5 because I think that's the side you're gonna go with.
Yep, that's the side I'm going with.
But
Dallas. Give me Dallas.
just think like Angelo for a bit, and if you don't know what to pick, if Angelo loses, it's a mute game. So we'll move from there. I
This is how
guess
you
it's
lose to
my
me.
point.
Last one, I think we're both going to be on the same one because you're both, at this point we're emotionally invested in this saga. Miami Dolphins heading into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5. I'm not even going to make a summary. This is just on Hopium. Give me Miami.
Give me Miami. We're on opium at this point. We need this Dolphins win like
At this
hair.
point, we're emotionally invested. Like,
Yeah, it needs to happen because this is the end game. After this one, I think Pittsburgh will be underdog in every single game, so we have a chance. But
yep.
the Dolphins need to show out. I don't want to hear any of that two is bad in the cold BS excuses. I need Tua to
He's
lock the
legit.
fuck in, and I need him to go into Pittsburgh and give them fits. I need HN to just blow the house up. I need Waddle to be great. I need retiree Darren Waller to be amazing as well. Nothing can go wrong in there. So don't fuck with me, guys. I need Miami to go in there and win this. Simple as.
Simple as.
So again, I've sent notices to Pete Carroll and to the Miami Dolphins. Don't fuck with me, guys. I'm counting on you. Like here. All right, and I think that's the show. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it sucks being a Bengals fan.
Yeah. Can't
That,
relate at this point.
that's the title of the episode. It sucks being a Bengals fan.
I thought it was gonna be Jalen Hurts is Daniel Jones, or Daniel
No,
Jones is
not
the
gonna be.
white Jalen Hurts.
I'm
Because
not signing off on your hate. I'm not
it
off on your hate.
is true. It is true, though. It is true. So, okay.
Hate. Yeah, I know.
Okay, guys. If you listened this far, thank you very much. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts app, the Spotify app, wherever you listen to your podcasts, make sure to turn on the auto downloads. Make sure to subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review. All of that helps out the show massively, and it's free. So thank you so much, guys. Season is almost over. I hope you made your playoffs in your fantasy leagues. Hope your season is
Oh
going
my.
well for your teams as well. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And talk to you guys later. See you.
Peace, guys.